Alright, I got the lower intake back on. Hey, what's going on, John? I got the timing covers back on, bracket back on. That bolt that you got to loosen up to move this. See it? Move this bracket out the way to get that cover out. That bolt is sitting. This right here. It's part of the the bracket runs all the way back here. That bolt is this the one you have to loosen. The other one is sitting exactly right here. You got to take that one completely out. Loosen this one enough, and you can shove this bracket back enough to get that cover off. That bracket right there. I already got the power steering moved. Timing is set right. I put my, you can see down there that label. I put the brand new water pipe on, which you can kind of see. That's the label right there that says Mitsubishi. It's Mitsubishi engine, water pump, and the water manifold. That water pipe hooks to all of them. I put the water pipe on first. Put the hoses on the thermostat, and you should do. Pressurize the cooling system with all that on, and I had a leak at one of the O-rings back there for the heater core inlet. One of the O-rings was leaking. I had to put a new O-ring on. It came in the box. And then when I pressurized it again, I had a leak at the thermostat housing. So I took it back off and I put gasket material on this, and then put it back, and I pressurized it. The system at 15 pounds and let it sit. I'll do that to ensure that I don't have any leaks. I don't want to put all this stuff back together and then have a leak. So I pressurized the system. It held the 15 pounds, cost us $16, put a brand new cap on. Now I can go further and put the rest of my stuff on, but I didn't want to put it together. Didn't have a coolant leak at startup, so you want to pressurize it and make sure you have no leaks. Another thing I did is put this fuel rail back on after I put the lower intake. Then I pressurized the fuel system to see if my injector's leaking before I put that upper intake on. And I got both timing covers on. Now I'm about to put the last. I just put the bracket on. And I'm about to put the last timing. The lower timer cover back on, and and I cranked it over. I also rotated it back here 3 or 4 times, ensure the valves wouldn't hit the piston. Now, when I first put it on, I put my belt on. My cam gear had moved, so what I did is I was on top this on number 1, so I rolled the crank back about 3 or 4 notches, so I can bring that left side crane gear back in line. By rolling it backwards or forward, you're moving that piston out of the way of the valves. I brought that one back on the left side, then I brought the crank back to top dead center. Right to its alignment mark. Then I reset that belt. And then I rotated this by hand twice, and it rotates easier with the spark plugs out. I have the spark plugs out of there. So it rotates much easier with the plugs out, and also set number 1 with the plugs out. I put a compression gauge in. As soon as I saw compression, and I used like a piece of wood, set it in there, and then rotate it until the wood went up and stopped, and I came back, and I set it right where it wouldn't move at all. Now I know I'm completely at top dead center on number 1, which is on this side. So I'm about to put the lower cover back on. Continue my journey on this 96. That's the Sebring. Okay, so I don't have anybody to hold the camera for me, but just so you know, you got a lot you got to do. This pulley, there's a tension, a bolt at the back of it. When you loosen the nut, this tension is back here to help this slide. Got a little screw back there. I didn't use the screw, I actually just popped the middle nut loose and then it slid for me, but there's a bolt right behind it. I guess the tension for the look like the AC compressor, but I guess, yeah, the bolt is right